Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are doing a story time video, and it's actually going to be about the time I was attacked by a cat. And to keep it real short here, real quick, it was my cat, okay? But the thing is, just a little disclaimer, this cat is sick, right? Or not sick, he just has like a messed up bladder or something, right? And he's not allowed to go outside because if he goes outside now, he'll come back and he'll start like peeing blood and stuff like that. So we can't allow him to go outside anymore. So now he's like stuck to being inside. And you know, like if we have company over, he'll try to escape through like the door and stuff like that. But we don't want him to like. He's fine indoors, you know, but he just wants to go outside because like there's cats and he wants to go like, you know, get his business done, you know. But we can't allow that anymore. And you know, he's been like super necio to go outside. So this day we had a bonfire here at my house, right? And it was me, my brother, and a couple friends and stuff like that. They all came over and, you know, we were hanging out in the backyard. We had a bonfire and stuff. Well, my brother's friends, they were like kind of like in and out of the house a little bit. And you know, we didn't lock up the cat, so he was kind of loose the whole time, you know. So not everyone, they're not gonna pay attention to the cat, you know. I mean, we barely paid attention that day ourselves. Like, you know, we were in and out. Like we didn't lock him up, you know. So what ended up happening was that like one of, I guess, my brother's friends, you know, they went inside, came back outside, and he ended up escaping. We didn't know that, right? So then a couple of his friends take off. So then it's just me, my brother, my cousin, and then two of my brother's friends. We'll call them Eric and Rob, right? So then it's me, my brother, my cousin, Eric and Rob, and you know, we come inside because we had bought a plastic baseball bat and then like the little foosball, right? And so we were gonna go down the street. It's already like almost midnight at this point, so we're gonna go down the street and play some baseball and just like, you know, mess around, being dumb, right? So then we come inside and me and my brother were like, hey, like, where's the cat at? So we start freaking out. We start looking around everywhere and we're like, oh shit, like we lost the cat. And we're like, he escaped, and our mom was gonna kill us if she found out that the cat escaped. So this was the worst possible scenario that we could have been in. Damn, my voice cracked back there. So this is what was the worst possible scenario we could have been in at this moment, right? So then me, my brother, my cousin, Eric, and Rob, right? We all decided like, hey, like, let's walk around the neighborhood, see if we can find the cat, you know, bring him home, and we don't say a word. Alright, we'll just play it off, right? That was the plan. So we walk around, we go around the neighborhood and stuff, and then we go into another street, and there's some big ass dogs there. You know, like they got like Rottweilers, all that shit. So like any moment we thought like, shit, we're gonna get attacked by a big ass dog. You know, I feel like it would have been a lot cooler of a story if I said all the time I was attacked by a Rottweiler over a cat, you know, but that's besides the point. So we finished up walking around that street. We didn't see no cat, so we're like, damn. So then we ended up walking like down like this expressway, and then we went back to my street. And then as we were walking back towards my house, a couple houses down, we end up seeing the cat. His name's Ollie, and my cousin was the one that pointed it out. He was like, hey, like, isn't that Ollie? And I was like, oh shit, it's the cat. But like we didn't like run at him, we just kind of stared at him, right? Like we were gonna like slowly approach him so like to see he doesn't freak out and like trying to run away from us. But then out of nowhere, this dude takes off, vroom, and attacks some like random ass cat that just spawned out of nowhere. And they just start going at it. I swear to God, it looked like the tumbleweeds from like cowboy movies, you know? Like they just started bouncing around like everywhere, okay? And like they ended up going underneath the house that we were like at. So then my brother and Rob, they end up walking like towards the side of the house looking for the cat. And then me, Eric, and my cousin were like kind of in the front yard, you know, in case like they come outside like, hey, what the fuck y'all doing? You know, why y'all on my yard? Like it's like almost midnight, you know. I would expect someone would think we're trying to break in or something because we're shining like flashlights at the windows and shit like that. And we're like, damn, like we need to get this cat. We found him. Like we're halfway there. Like our parents were home. All right, keep in mind our parents were not home this whole time because they went to a party that night. Some of their friends got married or whatever, right? So we're like, we need to get this cat before they get home, right? Well then, Ollie walks out, and he walks out like nothing ever happened. I was like, oh shit, he fucked up the cat then, I guess. So I was like, all right, cool. So my cousin, Ollie gets stuck behind, like next to a gate. He's a dumb cat. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, he doesn't have much like, he's not street smart. He's really not. So then like he sees a gate, and instead of like jumping over the gate or like trying to climb over the gate, he just like looks up, meow, and then like just kind of like stood there and like gave up, I guess, like he was like trapped or whatever. So my cousin goes and grabs him, and I'm like, hey, like I'll take the cat. We had a bunch of stuff with us, so then we're like grab the backpacks and stuff like that. Like I'll meet y'all at the house right now. So I take off and I start walking towards the house, and I'm holding the cat, and I couldn't like cradle him because his like claws were out the whole time already. I guess he was still in attack mode. So I kind of had to like, cause like if I cradle him, he just kept like, I guess, scratching me a bit. Excuse me. So I kind of like held him out. And keep in mind, I'm only like a few houses down, right? So it's not a far walk. So I hold him outwards and stuff like that. And then he just jerks his body back and latches his claws onto my arm, and then he like lets out like a battle meow last second. All I hear is meow, and then he bites down onto my arm hella bad, and like scratches my arm some more, and like out of reaction I like do my arm, and then so he like lets go and like flies off and like lands on the road, and he just vroom, takes off running. And like I like grab my arm, I was like, fuck. And my friend, I hear him down the street. He was like, yo, what the hell, bro? Why'd you let go of the cat? And I was like, my arm. And he was like, what? I was like, he bit my arm. And like they were all confused. Like they thought I was making shit up. And I walk up to them, and like I didn't know how bad it was. And I looked down my arm. There's like blood already going down my arm, right? So I have like 3 scratches, like pretty deep scratches on like my like wrist area, right? I have another like scratch on like my I guess my top arm, and then 2 like deep bites on like the almost by my wrist, right? And then another like really bad scratch on my hand, and like the bites, they start bleeding really bad. Like my pinky and my ring finger were just like covered in blood. So then we get back to my house, and like like I'm covering it up and like putting pressure and stuff like that, and we're like, fuck, like now we gotta tell our parents, like we lost the cat again, because he took off after that. Like he like let out his battle meow, bit me, and then just boom, dipped. So we're like, fuck, like now we kind of gotta tell our parents. So I called my mom. I was like, hey mom, like I'm gonna be honest, like the cat escaped, and he bit me now, and like you need to come home. So then she was like, she started freaking out. Like I wasn't really freaking out or anything. I was just more like worried because he just fought a cat, like if that cat like had anything. But apparently the next day, oh hold on, like apparently like I didn't have anything, so like we were good and stuff. But my mom got home. She kicked out like our friends and stuff. She was like, they need to go home, because she thought she was gonna come home to like a bloodbath or something. But like by the time she got there, like I calmed down the bleeding and stuff, and like we wrapped it up and everything. And then the next day, my cousin was leaving back to his family because he was staying with us, and it was like the last day he was gonna be there. That's the whole reason why we had the bonfire. So the next day we dropped them off, and then I took off the band-aid from like everything, but where the bites were, they were still bleeding, and that's because I put like pressure. The bleeding had stopped already, so we're like, oh, like we're good and stuff. And then the next day, like I was still bleeding, and we're like, oh, like that's not a good sign. So then we actually went to the doctors, and they're like, oh, we can't like stitch it or glue it or anything. Like a cat bite would probably be best to heal naturally, because they said that like cats harbor like cat bites harbor like a lot of infections and stuff. So if they were to close it up, I would have like a higher chance of getting like an infection on my arm and stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. So that's pretty much the story right there. It healed up now. I got some scars, and I'm trying to figure out a way to make this story sound a lot cooler than what it really is right now. But that's about it. I hope y'all really enjoyed this story. There's a few more stories I could tell maybe later on, but if y'all enjoyed this story, please drop a like and subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate that. And take care. Goodbye.